Okay, so we just got back from the Texas Belt Championship, and I was fortunate enough to shoot the Waltz for the entire match, which was really, really cool. For those of you who don't know, I've been involved with Zermatt since the inception of the Waltz, since before they announced it, and I've been building holsters for them as it has been iterated for years now, actually. And this is serial number Proto 16, so this is a pretty early gun, and it's been great. But I wanted to tell you my impressions of this gun. I've got about 2,000 rounds in it now, exclusively Super Bell 124s for those of you who care. And yeah, having shot it now at a major match and a handful of steel challenges, another USPSA, and then just some training on my own, I do have some opinions of this thing. Now, keep in mind, my opinions are from the perspective of a B-class shooter, a business owner who doesn't have a lot of time or doesn't force myself to have a lot of time to dry fire. So I almost exclusively get my shooting time in at competitions right now, so judge me how you will on that. But my experience on this gun is going to be from that lens. So a couple things. We're going to start with just the ergos of the Waltz, because a lot of you guys are going to have questions about that because these aren't around enough for everyone to get their hands on. I've got large hands. I wear typically XL to 2XL gloves, especially in the mechanics. It'd be a 2XL for those of you who are familiar with those gloves. And this grip feels very, very good for a larger hand. I suspect guys with smaller stubby fingers may not enjoy this grip nearly as much, but it feels phenomenal for me. One thing I will note is that the way that my middle finger comes around here, it actually does partially cover the mag release. So originally I had the extended mag release on here, and when I would build my grip and crush in with the support hand, I would frequently drop the mag out. So I actually put the shorter mag release in and have not had that problem since. Regarding ergos, the skate tape variant that I have is very, very nice. I will say there is a void above the skate tape to this area here that is all just machined metal, and it's very, very slick. What I did for this last match was I actually put some skate tape up here. Unfortunately, on this side, it actually wore off through the course of the match, but having that skate tape up there a little higher was very nice. I liked the extra traction for my strong hand thumb, and that was great. Now, another point to mention with this gun is the ambi slide release works very, very well. It's very sensitive. So if you're somebody who rides your thumb in this general direction, you will probably not get slide lock, which I don't. I also don't shoot from slide lock very often, so it's not really a pro or a con in my estimation for this gun. Other than that, regarding ergos, the gun is very heavy. It made weight for the PCSL Belt Nationals by 0.1 ounces. And it is predominantly front heavy, which some people love because of what that does for muzzle rise. Me personally, I prefer a balanced or even rear balanced firearm. So front heavy for me, this gun feels sluggish to get out of a holster and onto target in dry fire. The transitions, I feel the weight. But with that said, when I shoot this gun, that seems to vanish. It is the strangest thing, because I have other guns that are nose heavy, like a Shadow 2, that I just really can't get around. I don't like them at all. This one, once it comes to shooting, for some reason that sensation of front heavy, slow to transition just goes away. I don't know if it's just riding the recoil into position or what it is, but this thing, once it starts running, it is incredibly well balanced, and I actually very much enjoy it. It's got a ton of dust cover. The slide is very thick, very well built, and the barrel is a one-piece construction from Proof. Well, it is, Zermatt does it, but it is a Proof one-piece setup. It's not pinned or anything like that, so it's just a beefy gun. But I have had 0 malfunctions over 2,000 rounds that were related to the gun. I have had magazine issues. Several of my Glock mags got very swollen at an outdoor match that we got rained on, and they no longer fit in this gun, so that is just a Glock mag thing. The Mech Gar mags that came with the gun, I think the springs were slightly soft in that thing for the base pads that were on it, and so I did the no-no and actually stretched the springs just a little bit, and I really just don't trust those mags nearly as much. So what I've been running is just normal OEM Glock mags with Floyd's +5s on it, and that's been pretty lights out for me. So as far as the belt championship goes, you can only run 20 rounds anyways, so it wasn't much of a concern. But yeah, this thing, having now shot it at a large 2-day steel challenge match, and then a USPSA, and now the belt championship, plus the training rounds in between, which are very few, I am encroaching on 2,000 rounds. And I have a lot of nice things to say about this gun. And here's kind of what it comes down to. This is an expensive, heavy, competition spec firearm. And because of that, there are some things about this firearm that some of you guys are going to say, well, I would never carry that gun. Okay, that's not what it's intended for. So don't get too high on yourself about that. A lot of guys are comparing this to 2011s because of the price point. And I can understand the reasoning behind making that comparison, but I want to point out something that a lot of you, I think, are missing here. This isn't a 2011 in any regard. And it's also not a Glock in any regard. So here's my perspective. I shoot P10s up until this point. I almost shot P10s exclusively. Very much a striker fire guy. Spent almost my entire shooting lifespan on striker fire guns, like a lot of you guys. I do not like shooting hammer fire guns, especially double action guns, because I'm not used to them. There are more steps to shoot a hammer fire gun with a manual safety, with a grip safety. Traditionally, the 2011s have their controls are further away, so you need to use a support hand for a lot of them. And that's just learning curves, right? It's not good or bad, it's just different. So for this particular gun, being a striker-based gun, there is no manual safety. There is no grip safety. Everything I can reach with my strong hand, just like I can with my P10s or anything else. So to transition from the guns that I'm used to shooting into this gun as the ultra premium version of a striker gun makes a ton of sense to me. Whereas moving from my P10 to the Titan that is in the shop, although it is a very nice gun and it seems to have a similar quality of fit and finish, I don't like shooting hammer guns, and I don't like dealing with 2011 mags. They are not nearly as... The price point of 2011 mags sucks. Tuning feed lips, I have never shot one enough to have to do it, but I hear guys talking about it all the time. That's not something I want to do. I don't like the idea of having to pin a grip safety. I know the Titan and other Atlases come already pinned and all that stuff. That's fine. They still have manual safeties to deal with. This trigger, for me, for an somewhat inexperienced guy, is very much on par with a good 2011 trigger. And on top of that, I don't have to take any extra steps to get it to work. I pull it out of the holster, I put my finger on it, and it go bang, just like my P10 does. So for that reason alone, I vastly prefer this firearm. Another point that I'll bring up is this beaver tail. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but every time I shoot a 2011 OWB, I go to grab the gun. At some point, I am going to skewer the web of my hand on that beaver tail. That's another thing that just doesn't happen with this gun. I index this gun like I do any of my striker guns and build my grip around it. It's great. So if you're like me and you spent most of your life shooting striker fire guns, the transition from cheap polymer striker gun to ultra premium competition striker gun is pretty seamless. And I think there's a lot of value in that. You can argue about the triggers versus this versus that. You can argue the balance, the weight, all the other things. It's just fundamentally a different gun, and it is going to serve a different group of people. If you're already the 2011 nerd and you've got 5 2011s, this might interest you just because it's different and unique, but it's not probably going to convert you from a thing you already are so used to for shooting for years. But the guy that has the Glock or the M&P or the P10 or whatever, that wants an ultra premium gun but wants to continue shooting as he's done forever, that's where I think this is it. Like, this is the key. Anyways, the shooting experience with this firearm, outside of like my thoughts and opinions that I already just shared with you, is phenomenal. Every single time I watch a video of myself shooting this gun, I'm just constantly at a loss of words for how freaking flat this thing shoots, and it translates into my shooting. My pairs are awful good, and it's a marked difference over when I shoot my P10. And that is, understand something, that's not because I've put in more time and effort with the gun. It is inherently more accurate, and the trigger is so ludicrous that I have less time to mess up. I'm at the skill level where these things matter. Your GMs, you guys know who they are, the Brantley Merriams of the world. They can make a Glock trigger do things I can't make this gun do. But I feel like a less experienced shooter with a higher end firearm actually has more to gain than the top tier guys. Because let's face it, Brantley could grab a freaking Taurus G2 and absolutely wipe the floor with me with this gun. That's not the point. It's, for me, this gun is taking a lot of the hard parts of shooting and just kind of making it that much easier for me. Now, there was about 300 shooters at the belt championship. I finished somewhere in the 100 teens mark. So, did it make me a super good shooter? Absolutely not. Was I the best I've been at a match in a while? Yeah. Was that because of this gun? Probably not. But I loved shooting it. It didn't choke on me at all. When I had stages where I needed to be very accurate, it was. And we had a stage where there was a bill drill and the thing was freaking quick, and I dropped all 6 in a very tight group, which is not something I'm normally capable of doing. So say what you will, this gun agrees with me. I shoot it well. It makes me feel good. Maybe that emotional boost is all it takes. Maybe that's the real secret sauce here. But this gun is something special. And I like that I don't have to change all the years of training I've done on striker guns to adjust to it. It just works with the way that I have been shooting for a long time. So yeah, no complaints with this firearm, with the exception of this little slippery area right here that I fixed with 20 cents worth of skate tape. And I'm excited to keep shooting it. I did shoot the ported version while I was there. That was a treat. Probably not interested in doing that again, if I'm honest, because this gun is arguably still so soft that the ported thing is same reason you buy an XC. Like they're just a toy. They're just so good. It's ridiculous. But this gun I can compete with. And soon enough, I'll be able to compete with this in carry optics. So that'll be the real squeeze when we start getting the Shadow 2 guys fired up, that these are floating around in the same pool. That'll be interesting. But yeah, that's kind of my feelings on the Waltz at this point. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about it. You think I'm just completely full of it? That's fine. Like I said in the beginning, this is just my perspective as a B-class guy. I am 100% biased because I've been involved with this company from the inception of this gun. But if they made a crap gun, I wouldn't shoot it. I shoot so infrequently that when I shoot, I want to have fun with my friends. So I would not risk an entire trip to Texas on a gun that I didn't like. And I'm glad I brought this thing. I would absolutely do it again, and I probably will. So there you go.